The headline, our conversation with Sacramento's two mayoral candidates, current Assemblymember Kevin McCarty and public health professional Dr. Flo Cofer.
Yeah, we'll speak to the candidates in just a moment, but first, ABC 10's Becca Hobbecker is here now to talk about their backgrounds.
Chris and Laura, I sat down with them to ask about the formative people and moments in their lives and what led them to seek the office of Sacramento mayor. Now you'll see their stories back to back. We did do a coin toss to decide whose would appear first, and that was Dr. Flo Cofer.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am the daughter of two public school teachers. And so the first value that was ever instilled in me was that community takes care of one another. But unfortunately, when I was 11, we were at my aunt's birthday dinner and my dad collapsed and he died from heart disease. And he was only 47. My dad started smoking when he was in his teens. And that was before we had a Surgeon General's warning, before the tobacco industry was honest about the harms of cigarettes. And so my dad struggled with an addiction that ultimately took his life. There's a saying in public health of tell us about your life experiences, your early ones, and how they brought you to public health. And mine is a pretty clear line. I wanted to be a part of a profession that helped protect people and make sure that we had quality in our lives as well as a long life that we can enjoy with our families. And that's what brought me to California 20 years ago, to Sacramento, to do an epidemiology fellowship at the Department of Public Health. And I fell in love with Sacramento, and I just felt like this was a great place to be grounded and to be able to do great work with great people and have a high quality of life.
Tell me what personally led you into politics, into running for mayor?
I was working professionally in public health and also serving on local committees, active transportation, the Mayor's Climate Commission, and then our Measure U Tax Advisory Committee. And I realized that the plans we were putting together needed someone who had executive leadership experience to help us execute and implement them. And that's what really pushed me to run for mayor.
What makes you proud to be a Sacramentan?
One of the things that makes me proudest to be a Sacramentan is truly the way that we live in an intercultural space. And I think that really natural blend that occurs when you're living together in such close proximity and going to the same events and learning some of the same, language and local culture means that we're all being influenced by one another. And it's one of the things that I enjoy most about being in Sacramento. It makes me Sacramento proud outside of just the Kings.
I'm a lifelong Sacramentan, and where did I grow up? We moved a lot. Single parent mom, 4 kids. I think we moved 9 times my first 13, 14 years in life, right around here in Sacramento. Living that environment taught me a lot of lessons about grit and hard work from my mom, which passed away about 15 years ago. So those valuable lessons are here today, and also reminds me that, a lot of families are struggling today, just as our family did, decades ago.
What led you into politics, of all the ways you could serve your community?
Yeah, I think it was failure. I flunked out of high school, went to adult school, got a second chance, went to community college here in Sacramento, ended up at the CSU system, Long Beach State, then back to Sacramento State for my master's degree. And I saw how public service and public policy could help communities. And I saw how it impacted my life as a kid. Single parent mom benefited from, child care, after school programs, scholarships for her to go to college. And so I really kind of fell in love with the opportunity to make a difference and serve our community. And most importantly, solve problems and help people. So that's how I got in this a couple decades ago, and I'm still at it today. And I know I have a lot more that I can do to help Sacramento.
Tell me about a moment that changed your perspective on life.
It's having kids, that you're responsible for the future of somebody else. And so now our kids aren't no longer little kids, they're teenagers in high school. And so one, it's very humbling to be, a dad of teenage girls, but it's really exciting as well to see, them grow up. It reminds me of our job in life as a parent, as a community member, and as an elected leader, as far as, making decisions, making choices that impact not just you, but the people that you're helping to shape, and also the next generation.
What makes you proud to be a Sacramentan?
I think we're a resilient city. We have a lot to be proud of, and I like the diversity. We just really embrace our culture and our community in Sacramento. That's what makes us a special place, and that's why we're thriving, and that's why I want to be mayor of Sacramento too, to embrace that even more.
Now, as for how much money each candidate has raised, according to the latest campaign statement, which tracks spending through September 21st, Cofer has received more than $413,000 in contributions this year. McCarty has received more than $747,000 this year.
Becca, thank you.